influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
Okay, welcome back everyone to Anonymous Bites Back. So in 12 days, correct, we have the Assange Extradition hearing, the appeal by the US government. Early this year, the judge ruled against extradition on medical reasons. The Americans were allowed to appeal that, and that case will be starting 12 days from now, if I'm correct. Not sure what the date is with you guys, but for me it's 12 days. So yeah, we have to give as much attention as we can to this, because we're not going to get it from the mainstream media, right? So we have to do it ourselves, and yeah, we will, as always. Thanks for listening, and please help to share this around.
It's much appreciated. And if you go to Candles for Assange, you'll find a whole list of events. I mean, it's still a bit out before, I guess, we have the final master, like, quote unquote, master thread of all the events. But yeah, there's going to be protests all over. I'm going to go look for the thread now. Oh, but I can tell you that there's stuff happening in London and Los Angeles and Denver and Washington, D.C., and I think Berlin. Not exact at all, but...
We will also, here in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam, we will also have a protest, of course. But, yeah, there's not enough. We need to protest everywhere, because this case has worldwide consequences for press freedom. I'm not sure if go ahead.
Wasn't there another journalist that was locked up in Iceland for doing something similar that like Assange did? God. Yeah, what's happening to Assange is becoming more frequent, you know?
those Pandora Papers. Is that what you're talking about?
I don't remember. I just remember reading it about a week ago that a journalist in Iceland, was locked up for leaking something, and apparently Iceland is not far enough, anymore.
Hey, yeah, so that witness, right? They had this whole witness going on, and he pretty much admitted lying about every single thing, and they arrested him in Iceland.
Sicky.
Like, what the hell's even up with that? Like, is that case really that weak? Are these Americans really that stupid?
Yes. But we're America, and we would like to have international jurisdiction over journalism. So, logic, throw that out the window. What's with that? Fair and speedy trial? Psh, please. No, it's all fucked. And, I'll read off the list here. That's a lot of cities. Okay, so we have London, San Francisco, Toronto, Wellington, DC, Warsaw, Poland, a city in Germany that I can't read because it's abbreviated, Berlin, I think that's short for Stuttgart. Did I already say Warsaw, San Francisco, Los Angeles on 2 dates, actually. It's going to be on the 23rd and on the 27th when the appeal hearing actually starts. And I'm just going to link the entire thread in the chat here, so that way you can find the details for each one. But make your own if there's not one near you, because gotta protest this. Especially if you're in a Five Eyes country, or if you're in the UK, or the US, or anywhere in the West, really. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I want to add to that I just sent candles for Assange to add Amsterdam location Dam Square on 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the 27th. So if you are from our country, the Netherlands, on the 27th of October, go to Dam Square. That's 1300, 1 o'clock in the afternoon in Amsterdam, and we will also protest there.
Woo woo, turn up.
Yeah, I just literally made it myself.
I know, that's what I did with Los Angeles. Okay, especially because, if you're in LA, you know that nothing warms your heart more as a protester than standing outside that CNN building in Hollywood with all the cars coming and all the employees being like, oh, look, it's a little protest we're gonna ignore. So, October 27th, 5 p.m., be outside, not maliciously, feds, chill, outside CNN in Hollywood, because they won't cover the Assange case. They won't cover the fact that the CIA tried to assassinate him. So we'll
Awkward silence.
So, she broke off, and that was it.
Oh yeah, I was done promoting my thing, so.
I could broke up on the last part.
Oh, I did?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, well, final detail then. Wednesday, it's a Wednesday, October 27th at 5 p.m. CNN in Hollywood. Protest for Assange. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say we are all Assange right now because, you see what's going on. We don't have any rights either. The only difference is that he has a smaller, prison cell.
Okay, well,
yeah.
Another reminder that it's just that his fight is our fight.
Yeah, and this is the final big move we have to make, we can make against this establishment, and that we just show these people that we're not all sleeping, and we're not going to let the press freedom be removed without a fight, right? We have to stand up against this. we're just like casually discussing this stuff on this podcast, right? But actually, like, we should be like really fucking worried. Everyone should be really worried because like we're losing our press freedom, which is like.
Well, I have a suggestion. I say it's time to open the floodgates and start letting people in, because you've been keeping this operation, like tight
You have
and not actually opening.
invite wherever you want.
So yeah, just like open the invite so I can actually generate some, and I would have done that 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, post the invite thing. Can't you read it? Like, let me see.
No, so I was waiting for the actual thing to activate, but I'll look in the chat if it's there. But does it expire, or is it set to never expire?
You're only like on 7 days now. He's over now. I
Okay,
create another
but-
one after that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Like, this is because
Okay.
this is like we can't be like hypocritic about this right now, right? I mean, this is like literally press freedom matters for everyone. So you're right about that.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, like, everyone needs to be able to speak out because their human rights, they're going to lose it. And we actually need all the support. We need people to show up at these events. It's like because we're not doing it for ourselves. We're doing this for Assange and for press freedom. And like, to be fair, like in a country like Norway or whatever, or even in my own country, still we don't live in the worst press freedom situation. But there is like 99% of the world has like serious issues right now, and you need journalists like Julian standing up for that. Against these repressive governments.
I mean, you do.
I was going to say, I think they're all equally oppressive. Some are just worse than others.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and
please-
some are more hypocritical than others. I mean, especially when it comes to Western countries, especially with the US and the UK. I mean, you're supposed to have a fair and speedy trial in these nations, yet we see how this case with Assange has been dragged on. I mean, we see how the carceral system within the United States itself works, and it's completely draconian. So it's, yeah. Incredibly hypocritical, and counters the image that we try to display to the world and the moral compass that we try to. And
Again.
despots know this as well. They're saying, they're saying straight up, like, you can't give me directions based off a moral compass that you lack. They're all picking up on this, and it's all leading to the further worldwide degradation of human rights. So.
Amen to that. But yeah, can you tag me in the chat, lovers? Because for some reason Discord is not showing me this server.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on now, but it's like all over the place.
Yeah, give me a second.
Yeah, so, yeah, any solutions to all these world problems?
I'm
We need
sorry,
to
I'm
hire-
trying to find this Forbes clip that Mad Mom is talking about. I'll get it for you, Mad Mom.
We need to hire a PR firm, obviously. We don't know what the hell we're doing.
Amen to that.
And an HR manager, because we're obviously not the right people.
Facts. But we can
I feel
get
like
better
sometimes it's good that we suck at PR though, because it's a display of authenticity and pure human awkwardness.
Well, our authenticity is like, what can I say? It's not doing the job right now.
We don't have any cult of personality. That's the problem.
Well, I say Mark could always be our face. Come on, come out of the closet, dude.
Can we get it? Can we get a Photoshop of Luby Jesus?
No, don't say these things.
No, with a Superman outfit on.
Technically, is a face needed? Is what is more important, the face or the message?
We have the
Well, we're
narcissist?
talking about marketing and psychology, and people like faces. That's just a fact. You know? And communication, when you're talking to someone, seeing a face and micro expressions, etc., that's a lot deeper communication than just like this.
Simply posing a question.
Thor's the new communications director.
I gathered.
Well, somebody has to step up, you know?
Indeed. And until someone better steps up, Thor will be doing the job.
Well, thanks very much, dude.
Well, no, that's normal. The way how things go. It's if there was somebody doing the job, like they could do any job that I was doing, they could do it better. I would move out of the way.
There's only one thing that can do this job, and that's an algorithm that we pay. You know?
I feel
Computer
that there's
programmer,
more
that's what
than
you're saying.
feel there's more than one way to do things. That's all.
Of course, like all those super hacks or doxers, super people, come on in and show us your fucking skills then. We've been waiting for years. You know, we have some big issues that need solving. So, yeah, come on.
Yeah, so this is actually a fair point. Like the big problem I have with all of this is that when you're talking about press freedom and stuff, you're talking about press freedom for everyone around the world. Why aren't all these big podcasters and these famous journalists and stuff all standing up for this? Why do people like us have to do it and beat algorithms and whatever? While these people, like these serious influencers and whatever, why aren't they standing up for it? Because they're going to lose their right too. They don't want to be like slave thinkers or something.
I mean, yeah, they do.
No, but to be fair, there's some did stand up in the past, like even like PewDiePie, for example. When we did Stop ACTA 2 and we fought against internet censorship in Europe, it was PewDiePie who helped us out getting like many of the signatures for our petitions and managed to get a lot of people to the street protest for us. And he did 2 episodes about this Article 13 and Stop ACTA 2. So now we need these people again. We need these people. Like we need the big podcasters standing up for it, because they're going to lose their stuff. If they say the wrong thing on YouTube, they're going to lose their channel. I know he's already demonetized too himself because he said some weird stuff, and he makes money from like whatever a web shop in the description or something. But I mean, it's just an example. The big podcasters and everyone, they need to stand up for this. And why are we supposed to lead a PR campaign against all of this? I'm not saying we can't, but I mean, we need actual help.
We do.
We need
That's
everyone
true.
to stand up for Julian Assange and for press freedom right now.
This is the thing. There's a lot of stuff happening simultaneously, and hate to draw it back to COVID, but COVID seems to be covering all of this, like with a very thick mist and shadow, overshadowing everything else that is going on.
Yeah, well, why do you believe
a lot of these other reporters run off their feet researching all of these other separate things that are going on? It's hard to focus on everything at once, and this is where our individual passions, drives of us following the rabbit hole to see where it goes as individuals gives us a broader picture of everything, because each person is focusing in a different area. And at the moment, I'm falling behind again on other people's research and work so far.
Yeah, but why do you believe that journalists, like also like in the mainstream, are not critical enough on the whole COVID policies of other different governments, etc., like the lockdowns and all these things? And I think that has to do again with the Assange case too. They are scared into submission.
Comfort zone, scared, don't want to rock the boat. Ignorance is bliss.
Revolving door between intelligence agencies and think tanks and the media, leaving them to already have a preconceived bias against Assange and WikiLeaks.
Yep. Again, I mean, so many reasons. Like, pick one, and you can't. They all play their part. I mean, this is an intricate web, as you know, conspiracy theory sounding as I can be.
Oh, someone just left.
Tyler, but that is a connection problem, I think. Yeah, it's just.
And he's also working. You know, he might want to do some work. But yeah. I sent out the invite now, so expect some people. Did you delete the general chat?
No, I renamed it for a reason. It's like because some people, because I haven't checked what's in that chat, but I think some people assume that it's like a private chat, right? So I just made a new general for now, because I don't want to like give like whatever information they share in private. I don't want to have that public to. I don't know who's coming in, so I don't.
Okay, but give me access to it at least for now, so we can communicate. Hey, give me some roll, Fagman Supreme.
Okay, 1 second.
It's for my confidence, quote unquote. Who am I quoting though?
I don't know.
I'm quoting Mark. He wanted to be admin in the public access server for sake of confidence. Like,
True.
How much confidence do you need, dude? You're like admin of 1,000 fucking things.
True. I can't function without it.
So what happened to? Yeah, there he is.
Okay, well I guess everyone's
Never
back
mind.
now. But okay, so we were talking about the Assange case. Do you guys have like an opinion about that?
Yeah, well, okay. Well, yeah, but I mean, it speaks to, well, okay, so it speaks to a lot of things. It speaks of cowardice, of selfishness, of just people. But I think part of it is when it comes to mainstream media specifically, a lot of these people are already natural stenographers for the empire. I mean, because it's like I said, there's a that's why we put like the Mickey Mac complex all in one acronym that encompasses the media and academia and think tanks and intelligence agencies and Congress, because there's a massive revolving door between the whole thing that ensures that people have these preconceived biases, that people are already groomed from the start to be against something which they actually need. But I mean, yeah.
You broke up again. Like everybody has connection problem today.
Fucking Discord.
I thought it was me. I was getting into it.
Yeah, welcome to the show, good old Gotti.
Thank you for the ad. Thank you for the ad, my friend.
No problem. We need the intelligent adults in this mix.
Does this mean I have to leave?
Aww.
We have hope. We have hope.
Okay.
can't believe how humble you are sometimes, Fandy, man. Like, that other thing, like, yeah, they were like cutting you off, and we even joke about that. Like, I don't know.
You're always so nice.
You know, yeah, that's kind of the whole thing. You know, Van is adult enough to, you know, take it upon himself, kind of thing. So, yeah, I don't know if it's always the best tactic though, but you know, it's a sign of matureness.
I am here.
Aw, you guys made him blush.
You guys.
But yeah, now we all love each other. What's next on the agenda?
I mean,
It
I
kinda
can give
reminded me-
updates.
Kind of reminded me of, you remember the cartoon from back in the day, like Pinky and the Brain? Yo, that's what you just like popped inside my brain. Like, yo, like, alright, well, what's on the agenda? Like, what's the next thing we're gonna do?
Oh, yeah.
What's the next thing? What's
Oh.
the next thing? I'm just saying.
Yeah. Zuckerberg lost $6 billion this week.
I feel like
Well,
that's like barely a dent though, and it's like, yeah.
It's really not in his pocket though, because like, I don't honestly, even if they killed Facebook monetarily, its Facebook Inc. would still be alive, because the only thing really keeping it alive at this point, as far as investors, is the Instagram. But as soon as that goes down, I don't think Oculus and WhatsApp could keep that whole fucking company alive. Nobody wants their AI tools because they're all garbage anyway. So.
Yeah, I mean, and I was gonna say too, I can give some short updates, well, if I'm not breaking out again, but I can give some short updates on Commander X's case. I don't hear any objections to that. Okay. Okay. Well, okay. So, basically, some, I guess you could call this positive developments in Commander X's case is, so he is facing two charges, or two indictments, one from Santa Cruz and one from Orlando. And as of this Tuesday, it looks like the Orlando indictment is going to be transferred over to Santa Cruz. This basically means that that whatever plea deal him and his lawyer Jay Roydy come up with, it'll encompass all of his charges from both Orlando and Santa Cruz. And then it also means that he doesn't have to travel to Orlando at all, which is a pretty good thing given X's shape and just, you know, how hard it can be to mobilize people on and off these days with so many political prisoners. But that's kind of a positive thing happening.
What's up with X? Is he sick? What happened with him?
He's in prison. Well, not prison. He's in Santa Rita jail right now because he was basically renditioned from Mexico months ago now.
I thought he was doing that Canada life. That's what I thought it was. I thought he was doing that Canada life. So he did the Mexico life, does he? You know, like the Americans don't run away to fucking Mexico anymore. We go to Canada.
You don't know Commander X. He was hiding. He was hiding in Vancouver for like 4 or 5 years. He was like a street person. It was actually a pretty smart idea. If you're running from the law, really. Yeah.
It's crazy, bro. Right? It's crazy. Like I don't know the whole backstory, but it's like, yo, like what the fuck, man?
No, he's in his mid-60s, so he
what are they trying to hook and book him with? Like out of like inquisitiveness, what are they trying to hook and book him with?
It's a CFAA charge and FTA.
Because of
Alright, so,
DDoSes, he did.
for the-
He did.
For the layman, the people that are listening that don't know what CFA and stuff like that is, what does that equate to? Like what does that mean?
Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. That's what they're trying to indict him on because
The federal
he
government?
allegedly called for DDoS attacks against Santa Cruz government sites and the city of Orlando government sites for their treatment of the homeless and food not bombs.
You know, you just brought up a really you brought up a really good thing. So like, you know, so like he wanted to go against the the city of Orlando for the treatment of homeless. There was an odd thing. Like I spent time in in that area, Central Florida, and Orlando happens to be in like Orange County, which is like smack dab in the middle. But if you go just to the west, right, you have Pinellas County and Hillsborough County. And if you look at the county ordinances that were implemented over, maybe 10 years prior from, like this instance or whatever, there essentially were instances where they banned homelessness, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, hold up. I'm sorry. I thought I dropped you. I was about to throw my phone against the wall. I just got mad. So yeah, there were ordinances that were placed against homelessness, to the point where, like, not so much in Pinellas County, but over in Hillsborough, which is like Tampa, Florida. It's a major metropolitan city. You have there was a section called like Tent City, and Thunderbear, you still here?
He's here in the chat. He's just muted. Wait.
Wait, hold on. I'm about to say, I'm not going to go any fucking
Fireproof.
further. Yeah, I better hear your voice. I better fucking hear your voice. You're the one that sent me over here. I better hear you.
Let's kick it, dude. Like, I'm listening. Come
Let's
on.
kick it. That's what I'm saying. Let's go. Like this. Hey, listen, we're sitting here rocking out. So like Hillsborough County, Tampa, right? Like they took things to a point where they installed they're like spike strips throughout like Tent City and all the areas where like homeless people lived, and they forced them to go over to Orlando. Right? They forced them. They forced all the homeless people, all the vets. Like, it was, there was this mass migrate. There was an exodus of homelessness that was forced to the middle of the state. And then you can't blame the government for, like, people being homeless. You know what I mean? Like, people have to take accountability, in all fairness. But like, things got a little bit weird there. So like, this dude, like Commander X, like, I don't know a lot about him. So he called for like a digital. What would you say that he did? What did Commander X do? What did he do? What was the point that you think he was trying to prove?
Allegedly, he was doing it in defense of the homeless because that's one of his kind of main spheres of activism is advocacy for the homeless. Because not only was the city mistreating them, but there's this group, Food Not Bombs, that was feeding the homeless that was also being persecuted by the government.
And that's a charge.
So,
yeah, I know. And they'll bust your balls. Is that crazy? You can get caught up with the police for feeding the homeless. What the fuck?
We were once doing a mutual aid event in around downtown LA, I think, and they sent fucking cops on horses.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yo, look at me. I'm a cowboy. It makes me think about like when George Bush was elected president, right? My dude like comes walking down the aisle. He's got that song by John Bon Jovi, just screaming in the background. I'm a cowboy. Like what's going on? Like how is that even possible? What are y'all doing? Why are you coming out here in fucking horses?
I don't know, but LAPD came out in horses in downtown LA during the middle of the Dodgers celebrations. And if you don't know what was happening during those, people were literally like doing donuts in the middle of the street, going on wheelies on their motorcycles and bikes, and also lighting a shit ton of fireworks. And LAPD thought the best thing to bring to this would be horses. So they're
Why are my tax dollars paying for horses? Why the fuck? That makes no sense. Or they're very inefficient and they don't go very fast. So why are my tax dollars paying for that?
Think about the psychology associated with an individual riding on top of a fucking horse to like a mass of people, right? You have an armed man riding up on a fucking horse, like, yo, those ideals, the psychology associated with that is mind-boggling, right? Who's gonna try a man that like rides up on a fucking horse, like, yo, you got a motorcycle, I got a horse, and I'm gonna ride up on you right now, like, yo, the psychology associated with it. I would think. Who knows? You know, I'm an idiot. I don't fucking know nothing. You know.
Would a motorcycle kick a person?
I don't know.
You know, like, hey, you meet the Rough Riders, bro. They can do some crazy shit on those bikes.
yeah, fair enough. Yeah, they can.
I was just looking for pictures of LAPD on horses because it is a stupid sight.
Like, how much does it cost to feed a horse a year, right? So, like, if you had, like, an extra, like, 2 or 3 zeros to, like, the maintenance of owning a horse, so we're talking, like about $500,000 a year for LAPD to fucking have a couple horses? That's fucking unfucking believable that the city budget would even approve that. That's so fucking stupid.
Well, I mean, and you have to train these too, like train them too and stuff, because like, yeah, because like when because like we were on the ground during the Dodger celebrations when they brought out the horses emerging from fucking fireworks smoke. By the way, it was some draconian shit, and then you hear these cops yelling like, "Left turn, right turn, right turn." So like, you know, they're training them too and taking time out of their program to have these whole like training courses, and it's insane.
Honestly, I don't believe in fucking law enforcement, to be honest with you. I don't understand. I mean, they're highly inefficient. They don't even know half the laws in the law book. They just fucking make shit up as they go along, like. And then they want and then they're still paying for horse. Like, who the fuck rides horses anymore?
I don't know.
People in Davy.
I go back to thinking about the psychology associated, like with the interaction. You know, the individual cop. You know, the cop riding on the horse. Maybe he has like somewhat of an understanding, but like, whoever the higher ups are or whatever, the psychology associated with an individual riding up on a horse, there has to be a beneficial aspect to it. I would think. I would think, you know, and like, I live in a major metropolitan area. You know, there's like party areas where, you know, a whole bunch of people go and hang out, and like those areas that you go and hang out, like, like randomly, like there's cops on horses. There's cops on horses that just like patrol like the area and stuff like that. It's got to have like a psychological effect, you know what I mean, to the people that are over there. Not saying like nothing ever happens. Like, yeah, of course shit happens, but I think it's more of like a psychological aspect than it is, you know, rolling up inside of like, you know, a Humvee or some shit like that, which would also be very scary. So
they're usually used for crowd control.
Yeah, like, you know.
Yeah, if they arrest you, like are they gonna drag you? Like, are they gonna make you ride a horse or?
No, they listen. They get a paddy wagon right around the corner. It's like, hey, listen, like, he's gonna see you fuck up and he's gonna hop up off his horse, and you're gonna get roped up in front of all your friends by the cop that was just riding a horse, right? All your friends are gonna be watching the shit, and then he's gonna scoop you up and he's gonna drag you around the fucking corner with one of his partners, and you're gonna go to the wagon. Dude, you just got scooped up by a dude that was riding a fucking horse. Everybody else that just watched that happen, everybody's like, yo, I don't want to get scooped up. I don't want to get fucked up by that dude on that horse.
You gotta learn some skills with the rope. You gotta learn some skills with the rope. Get you a ranch and a horse, and
yeah, you know.
Like, I remember when they had do they still have the Venice cops that ride the bicycles? I used to laugh at those guys. all the fucking time at the beach.
The
I couldn't take him
elite
seriously.
bike force.
I know.
That's what I call
remember
them.
they had him on roller.
Be nice.
Remember they had him riding rollerblades for a little while in the '90s. That was hilarious. That ended really quickly.
They still have them. They still have
Be
them.
nice. Be nice to them. Yo, can you think about that? Think about that job for a minute, right? Like on a legitimate aspect, any one of us, right? Like regardless of what we're sitting here like talking about. Like think about being like that individual. That's your job. Your job is to like go to work on rollerblades or, you know, on the back of a horse, and you're fucking around with a whole bunch of assholes that are just like busting balls the whole time. Like that's got to be a hard fucking job, man. You know, not saying that people are, you know, like it's got to be a hard fucking job. You know, I roll up on you. Like, listen, I was just talking to you. Whoever just laughed last, right? It was a dude. So, like, I roll up on you, and I just catch you, like, let's say, like, you're smoking weed or some bullshit, whatever. So now I have to enforce the law. You're not allowed to smoke weed here, and I'm on the top of a fucking horse. I hop off my horse, and I'm like, hey, man, listen, I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to be square with you. I used to smoke weed back in college, or, like, whatever the fuck the cop would say to you. Or, you know what I mean? But, like, hey, listen, you can't do this shit over here. And then I'm going to get back on my horse, or my rollerblades, or my fucking bike. It's gotta be a fucking hard. It's gotta be a shitty hard job. Like I don't even know if I want to say shitty. It's gotta be a hard job though. It's gotta be a hard job. You know.
You know, one thing I will say with regards to, you know, cops realizing how cucked they really are is, I think one thing that the pandemic and the enforcement of jab mandates is making a lot of, you know, quote unquote law enforcement realizes it's making them realize more and more the fact that they're not protecting the community, they're just tools. And I mean, I'm just taking that lane and I'm running with it because hey, less cops the better.
Maybe that's a part of the process of like becoming aware. You know what I mean? Like becoming woke. I read a thing earlier today about like it was like a silly thing.
It is,
but it really wasn't all that silly. You know what I mean?
It takes moments like that. Yeah. You need to see them in action for yourself to truly understand the processes that are taking place on a deeper level. Sort of, you know, cause and effect and all of that jazz sort of rolled into one. And yeah, a lot of people are waking up to it. It's
becoming aware, you know,
of not just the jab and, you know, things to concerning with COVID. They're becoming more curious now at all of the other things that did not make sense that they've been aware of for quite some time, just haven't had time to look into. Everybody has their own time clock. You know, we all wake up at different times. Just as the Earth rotates and we all have different time zones. We all go to sleep at different times and we all wake up at different times, even in the time zones that were allocated. So, you know, it's hard to generalize when a person wakes up. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds you sow.
God
Share information. Make connections with people. Discuss things openly, unbiasedly, convey ideas, bounce them off as, you know, sounding boards with others. We're a communal species. We wouldn't have got this far without being a communal species. So yeah, you know, that's our biggest strength.
And that's exactly what I was attacking with the social distance.
You know what you just made me think of. Like I was sitting here, so like me and my daughter go walk around like my neighborhood over here or whatever. So we seen like a dad duck and a mom duck, and we named it like the dad's Jim, the mom's Pam, right? So we see them together. They're out there doing their thing, you know, just fucking like trying to get a little bit of food or whatever. Well, Pam winds up having a little bit of. She has a couple of like baby ducks, right? So me and my daughter, we see them like it's the baby ducks, right? They're just little baby ducks, like over by the lake, and they're going all over. So like we didn't see them for a little bit. My daughter comes over here, and like we're walking around the neighborhood or whatever, and all of a sudden, we see the dad duck, we see the mom duck, and we see the baby ducks all together. Still, this is months and months and months later. We see them all together. And like, yo, it was heartwarming. I was like, yo, you guys stick together. I was like, I like to see that. You know. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes you see things that like sometimes you see things that makes you think a little bit different. You know.
Yeah, but they have been
You
attacking
see
this
it
for a
throughout
while
nature,
already.
wherever you look.
Yeah, but they've been
You
attacking
see,
for a while already, fan man. Like
Yeah.
it is like it
Yeah.
slipped
What happened?
into society. Like people, when you're in a train right now or in a bus, you see people
classes.
buried in their phones, right? They're no longer talking with each other. They're like buried in their
Yeah, I know
phones.
their necks are bent down.
Yeah,
Bent
exactly.
necks. Listen, and that's what I call them, bent necks. I see them with their fucking necks bent. I seen this thing. I don't know how legitimate, like maybe this is gonna wind up being, but it talked about it was like it was a mini doc, and it talked about the physiological aspects of what happens when you're looking down at your fucking phone, right? So like it fast forwarded like like 100 years, 90 years, some shit like that. You know the physiological aspects of what happens when we just continue to look down like this. We're just looking down. Why it bothers me. Like I'm sitting here, like I'm talking to the mobile, you know what I mean? But I'm like, yo, like we keep looking down. You know what's that gonna do? You know what I mean? Like is now my, just odd. It's odd, and everybody does it. Everybody does it. Everybody. You hop on the train. You hop on the bus. You hop on the subway. Even if you're riding a bike, I go out and exercise. I see people on bikes. They're fucking looking down. I'm like, yo, what's up, man? Everybody's looking down. They're just looking for something. What do you want to give them? What do you want to give them?
Google Glass.
Yeah,
Whatever.
what do you want to give them? Like for real. Everybody's looking down. Yo, everybody's looking down at something. Everybody's looking down, and it's like, yo, like as a marketeer, it's like, yo, what do you want to give them? I provide content.
Implant.
You know what I mean? Like,
The
so,
Elon,
what
the
do you
Elon
want
Musk
to see?
implants.
What do you want to see? As long as I'm giving you what you want to see, then like, yo, you're gonna keep looking down. And like that's a reality. That is a reality, right? That is a reality. As long as I give you what it is that you want to see, and I make you feel the way that you want to feel, you're going to continue looking at what I'm going to give you. That's a reality. It's how marketing works, right? But like the physiological aspect as it relates to like looking down at a mobile device, that's another thing. Like I'm not a doctor, I'm a marketeer, but I wonder, what I mean? Like if you who I was just talking to, if I provide you the appropriate content, where as you walk around throughout your like individual day, you're looking at your device, right? And you do that over
Monitoring
the
your
course of the next
steps,
like 20, 30, 40 years. Like what
playing
is
your
that?
games,
Yeah, playing your games, everything.
chatting,
What is it do to you physiologically?
doing personality quizzes,
And that's the psychological aspect.
sharing your
Like,
sharing your
there's two.
intimate details that
Yeah,
you would only share with a
randomly.
therapist, psychologist, or whoever is examining you.
Are you gonna save me?
It's
Are you
interesting.
gonna save me? Are you gonna save me? Like, and is that not what we all wonder? Right? I'm gonna share with you. As soon as you make me feel that you're gonna save me, I'm gonna share with you. Right? I'm gonna share with you. And psychologically, like, yo, Carl Jung went deep into this, bro. And
It's important to be able to save yourself before you can save others.
yeah, 100%, man. But if somebody's tricking you into thinking that like, yo, I can save you, right? If I can make you believe that I'm going to save you, right? And you share everything with me, but like, yo, really, like, you know what I mean? Like I can provide you with something that makes you feel as if you are saved. But are you saved? Are you actually
Distracted.
saved? You're distracted. So like, what does that mean to be saved? What does that even mean? What does that mean?
Well, that's
Yeah.
too complicated. It's easy to be
It is.
distracted.
Yeah, I know. So just stay distracted. So just stay like, yo. And how easy is it just to keep people distracted? You throw like, I brought up one question, right? You just responded with an amazing answer, right? So, like, as long as you provide that type of content, I can keep you in that state. I can keep you in that state.
No,
right?
no, I realize how it works.
Just
It's
going
great.
and going and going.
It's creating zombies in some
Yeah,
cases.
yeah. You know, and like,
Figuratively speaking. Sorry.
I was just agreeing, like, very, very true. Yeah, it is.
I use the term zombie figuratively, of course.
Yes, yeah, naturally. You know, we jokingly call it the zombie apocalypse, but you know, it's not like The Walking Dead.
But like,
Soon will be like
in some regards,
transhumans,
like,
robots.
Well, figuratively speaking, when you're distracted, right, in such a state that you detach, are you living?
No. And like, maybe we should go one step further and like define what it is to actually be living. What does that even mean? We say like
Learning.
We're going to ask questions.
Learning, connecting, understanding, growing.
Yeah.
Growing. Yeah, that was my next one. Yeah.
There are many things to it. It's and it has a flow of its own. And as soon as you start imposing artificial systems over the top of it, forcing the flow to your will, is when you start getting problems.
Yeah. You know,
what was it? The movie Cloud Atlas. There is a natural order to this world, and those who attempt to upend it do not fare well. I love that quote.
Yeah, like
I mean, it's simply a movie quote.
Yeah.
It's simply a movie quote. I wonder why. But it has a poetic sort of tone to it.
It almost sounds like a Hamlet quote. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like those that are living, you know, those that are living and oppose that which is like the norm, right? You're going to have a problem. So that goes right back. That goes right back to like the anarchist ideology, right? Like you're sitting here and telling me that like, hey, those that are living who oppose that which is the norm have a problem. And is that not the problem?
Well, when I say they have the problem, it's just problems have a tendency to just arise from things.
Yeah.
And from what I've noticed, there's sort of the more you go against the grain, the more friction you get. If you go with the flow.
The friction makes heat.
Oh, well, I mean, but yeah, the whole yin and yang, you know, as long as you're a nice little, you know, obedient worker, consumer, slave that, you know, does what they say and doesn't object and pretends that the narratives that they are spitting out, you know what I mean, are the actual truths, and you're not paying attention to anything, then everything's fine. But the minute that you wake up from that delusion into the reality that's the current cartoon that we live in, where society's being rapidly destroyed at a rapid pace, live and in color, then they will come for you if you make too much noise. But 'tis the life, I guess.
Is it truth in a world full of lies? The truth is the enemy, and so are those who speak or seek it.
Well, yep, that's
listen. It's
those
like
that are in power want it that way.
Is it not? You know, you both just like said a whole bunch of really good stuff. Is it not like you know, thinking about what you both just said? Is it not? Is it almost not like the forbidden fruit? It's the forbidden fruit. You're telling me I can't have this. You're telling me I can't speak about this. You're telling me I can't do this, that, or the other thing, right? And what does that do psychologically, right? Like realistically? What does it do? You tell me, hey, listen, you can't have this because of X, Y, Z.
Hypothetical here, they tell you that, you know, murder, violence, adultery, sex, drugs, and all of this stuff is bad, while at the same time bombarding the shit out of you with it through every media possible.
Yes.
I mean, if that's not a head fuck, for lack of a better term, I'm sorry to use my French. But yeah, look, there's for lack of a simple term, it's interesting that dilemma that would create in the conscious, let alone the subconscious.
Yeah.
Further,
Again,
allowing
actually consciously like participating in life on a daily basis. If you know, like real, I mean, I'll to be on a positive note, like I do feel like the awakening, quote unquote, there is growing. Finally, a little bit more. Is it enough? Not yet. Will it be soon? I hope so.
I don't know. I think QAnon kind of like fucked up the whole thing. Like now people believe all sorts of crazy shit. They're like, you know, next thing you know, fucking the tooth fairy is like a real thing or some shit. Like that's the next thing.
It reminded me that there are a lot more people that have a gut feeling of something ain't right is more than what I thought. Whether what that is irrelevant, but their gut is telling them that something's not right, and they were drawn into that direction and fell down that rabbit hole. But the gut feeling that initially took them there is growing.
It's a good summary. So I've been like talking about this Forbes clip all day. It kind of, you know, ties into like everything that we got going on with Julian Assange and Daniel Hell and just, you know, literally the attack on what's left of our rights that they haven't already taken from us, and that's pretty much the last one. So there was a press outlet. They didn't name which one it was. I've been really busy all day. It's the first time I've had a chance to like sit down at the computer for a couple weeks, really. So I haven't had a chance to dig and see what the press outlet was. But so Parsons comes out on Forbes a little earlier this afternoon. There was a what sounded to me like a pin test hack, perhaps, where they alerted the teachers system in Missouri because there was obviously, you know, like an open door that was letting people's social security numbers, etc., be outed, and Parsons is notified the Highway Patrol and Cole County prosecutors and other authorities to pursue charges against the press outlet because it's allegedly a political ploy. First of all, if they were trying to hack you and exploit the teachers and their private information, I seriously doubt they would have reached out to a press outlet to let you know that, hey, you should probably step up your IT game literally everywhere, especially, you know, in your education system and, you know, your infrastructure, etc. It's just freaking mind-boggling that these people are still getting away with this. Like Hillary Clinton's still on TV. Like, it's a little insanity. I'll be on the phone with DC first thing in the morning. I don't know how much good it's going to do, but I'm going to do it anyways. I did post the clip in here. I don't know if we want to try to play it. Would probably get, you know, another ban if we do. So I'll leave that up to Count Lubby there.
Mad Mom, what did you think about that Pompeo guy being so obsessed over Assange?
Okay, yeah. Well, I think that he's a fucking monster war criminal, pardon my French, and that, you know, people like him should be in Gitmo or Belmarsh or to the guillotines or, you know, at the very least, special administrative measures, since that's what they want to do to any of us that, you know, are just letting you guys see what like they're actually doing to people. Like, oh, it's okay that they can just drone strike people, even United States citizens that are children, like whenever they want. It's no big deal. Like they're gonna keep pillaging the earth and stealing all the food and making you guys take mandated experiments if you don't wake the fuck up. Like, back to a positive note though, like John Deere went on strike and more people are going on strike, and that's a good thing. That's what we need, is for people to like stand up for themselves. Like no matter what your cause is, like you've got to do it, because this is literally the last hurrah, or there's no future for like you know, our descendants, our children and their children's, and that's the facts. And people think that we're crazy or conspiracy theorists and etc., but it doesn't take a whole lot of research to just, you know, oh hey shit, click those links and read the things that are right there publicly for you to read. If you don't want to read it, get an app. There's some that will read it to you. Like, it's not that hard. It's just not. It's very frustrating, if you ask me.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the thing is, you should be allowed to be a conspiracy theorist, right? I mean, you should be allowed to discuss everything you want without being attacked and discredited for it. Like, you need an open discussion about things. And
right, and we have we don't have zero, we have zero accountability, we have zero transparency, we have, and then like the few people that do push back, like we can't even get answers. But then again, like how much of that is a show and how many of them are on gag orders? Because I know that some of them are, because they personally told me at dinners.
Yeah, I mean, I know the people are mostly
The show must go on.
On this podcast. I mean, we're pretty much technologically gagged right now. I mean, we can't do anything illegal while we're on this show, right? So we can't be involved in any of that. But I mean, at some point, the people just need to like start exposing these truths, right, and spread them in decentralized methods together. I mean,
Well, don't underestimate what's happening here. Just the connections taking place, the discussions, the exchange of ideas. Things become more clearer for some, if not for all. It's good to discuss things with like-minded people.
Yeah, it's great to discuss things with like-minded people, but we also have to like be able to talk to people that we don't necessarily agree with on everything. Like it's okay to work with grassroots organizations or a group or whatever you want to label it on said issue, name your topic, whatever you want to work on, and work on that to get that done for just that issue, and then go your separate ways if you don't all like the same music or freaking tea or whatever. Like that's okay too. We have to move beyond these labels and be able to talk to people regardless. And
yeah,
it's also
I see
focusing on the common ground is the important part here, and it's those common grounds that we can all stand on. After which, yes, as you said, we all go our separate ways because we're coming together for the common good of everybody.
Yeah, well, we see this in Anonymous. We see this a lot.
Yeah, go ahead.
In Anonymous, we see this a lot, right? Like you have, for example, you have a lot of people being for free healthcare, and there is a lot of people who just want a government out of healthcare. Like you see both these voices in Anonymous, right? And then you have pro-gun Anons who want like they need the guns to defend against the government, right? And you have people, being anti-gun Anons.
I worked on that legislation. I made sure that, what I'm saying? Like I worked with several different organizations here in Missouri. Like we're probably the only state that had any kind of teeth left to their gun rights against the federal government. And they're already working to try to overturn it, and it's too freaking bad. But I mean, criminals that have guns are not buying them in legal places anyways.
No,
for one,
no, that's the thing. Look, my gun stand is I'd rather have a gun and not need it than need a gun and not have it.
Exactly.
As for education and healthcare, any civilization knows that the only way to become great is to look after its population by giving them the best education possible and also providing the best healthcare for them. After that, a civilization or whatever will grow great on its own accord, provided it's left to its own devices.
And that's the part that we're not provided, though. You know what I mean?
It's the will that is lacking here, not the ability.
I won't disagree. I won't disagree with that.
The people in those positions that should be, discussing this are not doing it for a reason. It's the two-party illusion thing, which Ryan Christian has touched upon so often, and so many others, that it's like a created stalemate. And as Ryan said, like levers, they threw systems in place, whether it be the Electoral College or the super delegates or whatever the case may be. They choose the outcome, and the only ones that seem to come through are the ones that seem to benefit the upper echelons, while mildly, if you're lucky, benefiting the bottom sort of classes. And there is a class system.
Yeah, absolutely there is. Yeah, and that definitely does go back to it. You know what I mean? And the money the money and the dark money, these big corporations that are behind legislation getting passed here, and the fact that any agency, you name it, local sheriffs, county courts, whatever, they will not follow the letter of their own quote unquote again law, which really it's just statutory code, and they just get away with it. I mean, it doesn't matter.
I personally don't believe they are these big corporations anymore. I think they're intertwined with government. They're the same thing now.
Oh yeah, and they're the same thing, and they probably have been since pretty much at least like the 50s or 60s, right?
Yeah, they've been
Probably.
They coined conspiracy theorists because the JFK assassination, correct?
Well, when you're talking about the military-industrial complex, right? That pretty much means every year you move what is it now, $800 billion from public money into the hands of private weapon producers, like Lockheed Martin or Boeing, right?
Yeah.
They're creating these weapons. They're receiving that money from you, so you're moving the money from the
hypothetically, that money, the third of that could pay for the education and healthcare. But please continue.
Yeah, it could. But you're moving it from the poor, because the poor are paying their taxes, right? The richest never pay their taxes. They have loopholes. But the poor pay with their taxes. They pay for this military-industrial complex. This money goes in the hands of these few corporations like Boeing, Lockheed, and they get certain tax cuts and deals with the government. The government buys weapons from them, and then use it to wage wars all around the world. And it's pretty much every year you move hundreds and hundreds of thousands of billions into the hands of a few privates. Yeah.
Trillions.
Yeah,
I don't hear any lies.
Like 6% or something, and then and 96% of the whole world's freaking media is also controlled by these same what's it boiled down to, 6 companies or something at the end of the day? Is that fact close to right? Or am I just
hard
not?
to get your news from a trustworthy source.
Because they are also intertwined with the same people.
Yeah, and then they censor people that are, putting out real, actual, documentation, their own legislation, our own answers from the International Covenant of Civil and Political Rights from the United Nations, all these doctrines.
This is nothing new either, Mad Mom, because it's in World War II. The BBC did this too in World War II. They used propaganda against the Germans, and the Germans used propaganda against the English and the Americans, and they would always say
now it's the next level stuff. They're using propaganda, not just on their own citizens.
From the paperclip scientists, sorta.
They're using propaganda not just on their own citizens, but on allies. That was usually intended for foreign governments and audiences.
Yep. And they're taking all of the data from everyone's servers without permission.
Guys, don't speak over each other, please.
Content creators, these individuals are the single most innovative marketeers that are floating about right now. They know how to create content. They're content creators, right? And so, if we say back in the day, we would say we would say propaganda. Right? Today, what we refer to them as is digital marketeers, right? They know the content to create. And it's interesting, looking at it like a big picture. It's how are we so persuaded by the content that we see? If it's a fucking movie, an ad, if it's even us talking, I'm talking, we're talking right now. I'm not just talking, me and you all are talking, right? You're listening to what it is that's being said, and you process it. And digital marketeers, it's boggling as it relates to the significance and the influential inference that a marketeer has. You can say just a couple of things, and influence a populace. You look at the presidency of Donald Trump, right? The individual Donald Trump is a fucking marketeer, man.
Mm-hmm.
You can come up with just a couple of things, whatever you like a marketeer, and it's even more than just being a salesman. The inner workings of the psychology as it relates to your audience. Like you have an audience, and it doesn't matter if it's, you're a president and it's all the people in America, or you're like you're a Roman fucking emperor, and like you're preaching to like a third of the world, right? You understand your audience. You provide your audience with that which they want to hear, and once they hear it, they fucking believe it, man. They'll believe it, and they'll fight for you. They'll fucking fight, like they'll give their lives for you. And like it is, like, and if you doubt it, like you look at, like you can look at any theological ideologies, right? And like when people hear the word, whatever the word is, right, and if they believe it, they'll give their life for it. So there's people here walking on the face of the planet right now that understand this, like more than me, you, and anybody else on the fucking call, all added together. They understand the significance of the sociological inference that can be injected to drive traffic.
So
To drive
on
traffic,
that note,
somebody,
somebody to offer, but I have to say that on that note, we really need reach. We need you to help us market this.
Yeah.
I think Earl is right, and there's one big problem. Like, I think we are appealing. We're trying to appeal to like an intellectual minority, right? And these people are actually targeting everyone in very simple, basic methods. When you mention Donald Trump, for example, he used very simple quotes. It already started with the "you're fired" thing, but they said like "build that wall," "crooked Hillary." These 2 or 3 word things that everyone understands.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. And like the beauty, you just brought up a beautiful point, right? You brought up a beautiful point. The simplicity associated with the marketing tactics, right? Especially when you're looking at the masses. When you're looking at the masses, you have to provide something that the masses is going to understand. And like you just said, crooked Hillary, build the wall, right? Most people are so
journalism is not a crime. My body, my choice.
No, it's not.
In kids for cash. Yeah, I get it. And I also understand that, like, okay, I'm still a noob, whatever. I came from Facebook, but delete them motherfuckers. Like, we could have the reach that, you know what I'm saying? We could probably dominate all their little platforms, quote unquote, with enough bots, but we want, like, actual, functioning, logical, free-thinking people, like, and
Precisely.
that also is, I feel like going to be an issue moving forward, maybe in the future, because I just don't know it's enough, but maybe, like, eventually, like, I don't know, man. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it. Go ahead, guys.
What do you mean you're not gonna say it? Like, you just said all that, and then you're not gonna say it.
Open discussion. Open discussion. You should feel free.
You just
just pass the mic for a second, because I don't want to get too soupy. I got to remember that I'm on the air and not just talking shit with the guys in the background like the good old days. So, you guys have the floor again. I mean, we definitely, know plenty of programmers. I don't think that that's disputed by anybody. So,
Fair enough. I guess you can.
Okay. Wait a sec. Don't make me summons no big babies or anything. That's all.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
Uh-oh.
Yo, are you Canadian?
I wouldn't say it aloud if I was not serious in the background or on air, unless, it's just satire and, I'm not too hard to figure out. I'm not as crazy as they want to make me out to be. I just, I don't know.
Don't worry about it.
I didn't get strung out when they kidnapped my baby, and Anonymous has saved my life more than once, and my printer goes brrr, like the Clinton body count. How about that?
Great. And you gotta love it.
You can find me in the heart of the show me. That's all I know. We're about to put up some addresses for Million Mask for Missouri, you know what I'm saying? Do little things for the homeless, like Op Safe Winter.
Is there a Missouri march already done?
I had a volunteer outreach meeting last night. Like, and they're like, "All right, you keep talking about it." So we're gonna doing a little research on like which location. We're gonna create a poll, put it out like next week, and then I'm gonna reach out to my networks. Everybody in there is gonna reach out to theirs. I'm gonna holler at y'all, put them in the Discord, and if you're in Missouri and you'd like to show up, we don't care what your cause is, what color you are, you know what I'm saying, what kind of music you listen to, what kind of car you drive.
It don't matter if you're black or white.
Sign poster boards are like 37 cents at the Walmart.
Family affair.
Assange. Can we roll the clip from Forbes, please? Louvers, Count Lobby. Old mother.
Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. I'll throw it in.
Put it in the chat 1,000 times. All right, here it comes. It's the last one I put in the chat.
People, please don't cut each other off all the time. It makes it very hard for. Please do not cut each other off all the time because it's very hard for the audience to actually follow. I'm listening, but it's like I'm having to run over to the phone to actually hear stuff because, yeah.
I don't have my phone going, obviously, but yeah, usually Mark's mic is like super louder than anybody else's when he like talks. But I mean, I don't even care about any of that really. Like if it's,
Well, just for the record, you are coming through loud and clear.
I do have a little lag, so I apologize there, Thor. Whoa.
Okay.
Thunder Bear, my friend, you fucking Thunder Bear. You know, hey, listen, you hop up on here, and you're like a Thunder Bear. Yo, you shake the whole fucking thing over here.
He's
like
the
whole thing just shook.
All right, it's in both in the chats and now coming with the DM too, Mark. Yeah.
I see it. I got it.
Oh shit! That was not the link that I thought I shared. That's funny. Google's been tripping.
But yeah, what I wanted to say was anything you can do to help market this thing, Earl, is appreciated. I know you're like the marketing mob and like Gotti and all that stuff. So
you know, I appreciate the shout out. I do. I got love for you, man. Of course. Well, listen, Thunder Bear.
I'm sorry, I'm not muted. Oh my god.
What we were just saying, you know, this
Mad Mom, can you please mute yourself? Go ahead, Earl.
No, I was just saying, like, you know, like this notion we just like briefly talked about, like somebody brought up the notion of propaganda, right? And like in modern day terms, like, yo, that's marketing, you know. And the platforms that have been provided to us, like, yo, you can literally, like a regular person, not a fancy person with a whole bunch of money or a big corporation, a regular person can hop on their network, which is a little bit of money, and you can promote, like you can promote right on there. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. You don't have to like it's you know, you don't have to be like a marketeer to completely understand. There's some like videos that you can watch and you can understand how to market on Facebook. And like there's 3
but that's
you know what, hey, me and you talked about this, right? There are 3.5 billion.
We need.
Go ahead.
Just listen to me. We need money to promote ourselves. So, you know, it's the chicken and the egg situation for us. Nobody wants like private people in our group to have to finance.
I get that. I get that. So, just listen. All right. Sorry.
So we want to crowdfund it. How do we market the crowdfunding? First of all, how do we present this? How do we make this presentable so everybody can relate to,
I get that.
know,
Yeah, I get that. I do. I get that. You know, and I don't have I don't have a specific answer because you know I mean I'm not the one all be all. Like I really don't know. I do understand that there's a message that needs to be promoted, and the message that needs to be promoted, not everybody can be within. You know the room that is sending the message out. Like I get that. That is a little bit of a feat. But like what I do know
but
is
what I really want you to do is use all your resources to help us.
Yeah.
You know.
of course, man. Like of course. You say it like I'm on the outside. Don't talk to me like I'm on the outside.
I say it
I'm
like
just saying,
I know that
don't
you've
talk
been
to me
into
like I'm on the
marketing.
outside.
I know that you've been into marketing for years, and that you should
Try to
have a
figure it out,
network
man.
built up.
Listen, it's a complicated listen. And with all I know, it's a complicated thing. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know exactly how to best help.
It's actually
You know what I
pretty
mean?
simple. Every time we've ever contemplated, you know, like a group fund or whatever, then the notion goes, no, I'm intermixing money with anonymous, and then nobody says shit when I want to dump my own money into it, and I'm like, fine, I have no problem dumping my own money, but that's fine.
Yeah,
But like,
and you know, hey, listen, in Thunder Bear over here, I've known Thunder Bear for a long time, right? Thunder Bear has invested like his own legitimate his own money into promoting legitimate shit, man. Legitimate shit, and I'm not trying to get some brownie points or something like that, but like I've known this fucker for a while, man. I'm like you're putting your own money into this. He's like I'm gonna use Facebook, and with Facebook, there's 3.5 billion registered users on fucking Facebook. Even if 50% of them are sock accounts, which you can think Africa, India, China, and shit like that. We take the 3.5, we bring it down to 1.75 billion users. Bro, that's 30% of the fucking world's population. Legitimate accounts. Legitimate. That you can take whatever your fucking message is, whatever it is, and you can share it. Right? Sometimes you got to use your own money, and some people that take the time to use their own money and resources, like, come on, man, show them love, show them love. Just saying.
Well, I suggest
I don't mean to get worked up.
I suggest we start crowdfunding this. We come together, we organize a crowdfunder, and one person we trust can handle the actual thing. I suggest Mark or Tyler or like somebody.
Been around for a while, man.
Tyler.
And I concur.
Okay.
I concur.
I'll vote on that for too.
I think AKA would be a little better at this, especially with. I'm sorry, I'm just saying because crypto.
Well,
I mean, crypto's an open book. We know exactly. We can know exactly where the money went, who has it, how much money is in it, and where it is.
I want to see you put your money in again, Tyler. And to make sure that you don't put your money in again, I'd prefer you look after the money coming in or any money raised coming in. That way I can make sure that you're not putting your money in to do this. That this is great. Don't laugh at me. You better be laughing with me.
Yeah, respect. Yeah. I'm with. Hey, listen, I'm with my dude that you're saying like, don't laugh. Like listen. If you've
I'm
taken
just
your
screwing
resources,
around with that shit. But no, seriously though, on the serious
but you
note,
were also being serious. You were also being serious, and I respect that. That's your friend.
Gentlemen,
I respect that.
One at a time, please.
So,
yeah, I was just saying, seriously, on that note, just to make sure that you're not spending your own money, you'd be spending the money coming in on the project. And the accounting and all of that would be just left to you. It's easy when you're the only one doing it. It's
Well, then that conditions also into your location, state law, federal law.
not even so much.
Depending on what your
So much.
purpose is.
Like, it's a job. It's like a job. You know,
I mean,
and
I
like, I don't mean to interrupt. The guy that was just talking. What's your name?
me.
Yeah, you. Okay, you.
Van,
That's the guy I want.
Van,
You're the one that I want to talk to. Listen, you're the
Van.
one I want to talk to. So like you brought up a number of really good points, right? So outside the fact that you just gave like a hat tip over to somebody that's doing some work and stuff like that, the idea that like somebody's going to like monitor and do all that, that's a job, right? That's a fucking job,
Pretty much.
It's not a job where you're going to get fucking rich and like stuff like that, but the idea that you're going to invest into you're going to invest into an idea, right?
Precisely.
Who better to invest in than somebody that's willing to invest in an idea
Of their
right?
own money, yeah.
Whatever, you don't it's somebody that you can count on. I'm just saying. I was just trying to back you up a little bit. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm going to agree with you backing me up. If that's going to sound weird, I know, but it's happening. There it is. So we've got a patting circle now. You're patting me on the back and I'm patting you on the back, but I'm still going to throw Tyler in as the person.
Fair enough. Hey, listen, Tyler, you got 2 pats. Tyler got 2 pats. Fair enough. I'm out of here.
Guys, Tyler's just trolling, right? He's not going to accept money for anonymous. You know that.
Hey, my next comment is for you guys.
And who genuinely accepts money from them? Who? What's the matter with you? What, you know what I mean? Like, you know what? If you do, listen, you get your due. You get your due. We're investing in each other, right? So
Actually,
I invest in you.
Buy a coffee.
We're investing in each other.
The public is actually investing in an idea and an ideal as well. These are the people that ultimately all of our actions benefit in the long run, and for them to throw a little bit back at us to put directly towards a cause which again benefits them and us, I don't see any problem in that sort of flow.
Yeah. But
I'm not touching this. You guys continue. Sorry.
I can go into greater detail if somebody, wants to challenge me on this, but I guess for now we can chill until it's brought up again.
Yeah, but does it not take resources, right? Like, in order for us as a collective, as an idea, to further evolve and move forward, like, do we not require resources?
Yeah, exactly.
Indeed.
And that's why I'm saying, I'm kind of asking Tyler, because, I know he's organized and he's done stuff for us before. So, of course, it's up to him if he wants to do that job. Yes, it's a job.
Of course.
But since
it has to be choice.
Since he was talking about putting in his own money, like, I hear he's serious about this. So that's why I'm asking. If he doesn't have time, okay. AK, we don't have AK here now, so we'll get it up, but we need it up and running so we can spread it out. I'm sure there's a lot of people listening that will actually help. What we're going to be using the money for is, of course, to boost posts, pay for ads, stuff like that. And everything will be transparent on the up and up. We'll show people what we're actually doing. Give some.
Tor, and maybe some of the listeners don't completely understand the significance of the reach that a good, solid, agreed upon message could have. Like, Facebook has a network with over 3 billion individuals, right? So even $100, $100, it's not that much money, right? $100 ain't fucking shit. $100 can reach us multiple thousands of individuals, not just in our network, not just people that are already liking our posts and stuff like that. We need to reach individuals that are outside of our network. And Facebook has constructed their network that, you have to pay to reach individuals outside your network. And then like the individuals that's running your campaign needs to understand the psychology associated with marketing, right? So it's easy to send a post out where, even if you have 30, 40, a tour, you had over 100,000 followers on one of your pages, bro. Over 100,000, right? But in order to reach 100,000, right? Even if you have a page that has 100,000 fucking followers, right? When you put a post on your page, Facebook's algorithm is only going to allow you to reach out organically, which means you create a post, and you pick posts, right? It's going to allow you to reach 3 to 7%.
Just listen to this.
Sickening. How the fuck do you have how do you have 100?
Listen to this.
Sorry.
Listen to this.
Yeah.
So we have a page with almost 300,000 likes on it, and we reach an average of 10, 15 people.
Bro, it's heartbreaking. It's fucking heartbreaking. That's just how. Listen, besides the fact of the way that we feel about it, right? Understanding how the network operates is integral if we want to get the message to more than just 10 to 15 of our followers each time that we post. And it takes resources. Like, this shit ain't fucking free. You don't it doesn't matter. You can be the baddest, whatever your technical skill set is. If you have a message and you want to get it out to the masses, it takes resources, right? And we're just regular people. Listen, we're regular people. We are regular people. We only have a little bit of money, so it's going to take a whole bunch of people to get together. Yeah.
Just let me say this, bro.
Sorry.
It's pretty much up to Mark, since he is like the gatekeeper, pretty much.
Well, I just noticed the entire panel has been silent because we run the Delete Facebook campaign, and our friend who is in prison, Commander X, was a part of that Delete Facebook campaign too, and this episode is about that. And your guys are literally suggesting we pay money to Facebook for reach, while all the announcers we work with literally left Facebook.
Delete Facebook,
but
Exodus.
We have a whole platform on Twitter and stuff, we all left Facebook.
Listen to me, okay? We are not giving money to Facebook. We are buying the rope to hang Facebook with. That is what we are doing.
Okay, well...
You can't even post the stuff we want to post on there, but even with money. You get the
I'm going to go get Josh Hawley clip. I'm on Thor's side with that one. Hold on, I'll be right back.
All right. Here's another thing, right? So, the idea that, I heard somebody in the background say that all of the Anons have left Facebook. Why are we... Wait, no, just for 1 second. Give me 1 second. Why are we only marketing to Anons? Anons already know. If we're trying to wake people up, we're trying to reach a new market. Why are we still marketing to people that already know? Why are we wasting our resources?
Can I jump in here real quick? Because at the same time, we're not gonna, keep feeding the monster, so to speak, by allowing ourselves to be exploited when we know what they're doing.
Why do we have to market? We can just deface a huge government website and say, "Go here." There's free advertising. I'm just saying.
Listen. Have we not seen clicks over the past 20 years? Let's look at the past 20 years. Have we not seen clicks, groups that have done just exactly what you said? Okay, and what have we gotten out of that? What, a fucking mini documentary where you have Sabu hopping on fucking on the TV? He's a cyber fucking security analysis.
Sabu's skill set was always subpar though.
What point are we proving when we just DDoS somebody? What fucking what are we actually doing?
DDoS has gone the way of the dinosaur, and I've told Mark this and several other people in this panel about 5 years ago was the ultimate killer of the DDoS campaigns, with the CDNs becoming you can pay fucking $5 for a CDN now. It's either you deface it or you hack it. Other than that, you really aren't doing shit. Really?
Yeah, but listen, and again, I understand. Listen, going back to 1990, the idea of hopping on the site and defacing and being like, hey, listen, I'm saying fuck you, and it's not even I'm saying fuck you. Like, me and my whole clique are saying fuck you, right? I understand that. I understand how what that means. But just saying fuck you doesn't do anything, right? So if we are evolving. We should be we should be evolving right now. We understand. We're woke, right? We understand, right? You understand the psychological aspects of everything, right? They are marketeers. They're marketeers.
We hit him, Harvey. Remember, I'm not sure if you're around for Harvey Harris, but we had a real operation that hit all of these motherfuckers exactly where we wanted them in their fucking pocketbooks, and it only took about 3 years before there was an internal page report with a threat analysis from the operation that was sent to all the fucking banks. And now all of the people, a lot of people, higher ups in that operation are now in hiding from 3-letter alphabet agencies.
Yeah. Even that there, right? So, as a free people, of course, listen, I'm an American. I live in America. Right, I have the utmost respect for my government and any intelligence agencies. They have bigger things that they're doing that I can even fucking understand. That you can understand. That me and you together we sit here and we talk about that they understand. But there's real shit that we as regular people do need to be focused on. Why am I waking up on a daily basis, right? And I see veterans sleeping on the side of the fucking road, right? And they're homeless, they're vets, it's easy to say, oh, those are just 1 or 2 that fell through the cracks or whatever. Bro, I sit here and I talk to these individuals, right? And I hear why were they left? Why the fuck did you leave them, right? And it's easy to say we had the SOP, we hit them in the pocketbooks and stuff like that. It comes down to marketing. Everything, this whole entire fucking thing, the whole entire thing comes down to marketing, right? What you want to say, how you're going to say it, who you're going to say it to, and how you're going to say it, right? You need to understand the network. You need to understand your audience, and what it is that you're going to say.
I have one question. It's actually Thor. This is actually also about you, Thor. This is actually a serious question because I am kind of a little bit traumatized over 2015 stuff because I know Thor. You paid almost $2,000 to that big page. I helped you on that page too. There was a big Million Mask March page we were doing. Was it Anonymous Live, right?
150,000.
Yeah.
You had 150,000.
And then suddenly it was deleted entirely, right? And me and Thor, we both lost our accounts entirely for copyright infringement or something. There was nothing copyrighted on it, but. So it was all gone, right? $2,000 gone.
What happened with Facebook? You had Zuckerberg who was pulled inside of a fucking. Listen, it was a congressional hearing. You had senators, not just lawyers. You had fucking senators that pulled Mark Zuckerberg, right, the CEO of fucking Facebook, into a fucking hearing, right? And they're like, "Hey, listen, what the fuck are you allowing to happen on your network? You have access to over 50% of the fucking populations on the face of the planet. What are you allowing to happen on your network, right?" I myself, in conjunction with people that I have worked with, okay, have spent multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars, literally multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars, right, on Facebook to promote messages, right? Not one time can you get a hold of Facebook. Right?
They don't have a phone number. They literally don't have a phone number.
They don't have a phone number. Listen, I have literally invested.
Okay, well, did anybody report them to the Office of the Inspector General?
I can't get a hold of Facebook. I can't get a hold of Facebook.
They did it on purpose because it was Zuckerberg's request. Yeah, they literally don't have a phone number because Zuckerberg has some he's fucking hyper paranoid about security, and he claims that you know, he has some like real tech skills. He really does, and I know his programming skills are always subpar based off of his.
Hey, listen, and you say, listen, and this is one thing that I'm bothered.
Did not
right?
build DARPA, aka
like
LifeLog, which is what that program is. I'm sorry to talk over you, but
go ahead, girl. I'm sorry.
That's all I had to say. No, that's all I had to say. Like, Zuckerberg definitely did not build DARPA. You know what I'm saying? There's no record of him.
Zuckerberg bought all of his security software from.
He stole it from his college friends or whatever, right? It was their ideas, you know.
Yes, it was their idea, and all of the security.
Boys in private schools, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
No, all of the security stuff I know from an insider, from a very good source that told me in 2018. Zuckerberg paid about 20 million for the security software. He bought it from an Israeli military contractor. So all the security they didn't make it. They all bought it. So I mean, back on the back end, that whole company is a shit show. So.
Wait, so hold up. Now we're gonna just go ahead and just discount the social influence that, let's just say, Facebook has. Because it's a shit show, or a shit show. Because fucking Zuckerberg doesn't have programming skills. Like, yo,
no. What I'm saying is that there was
an entrepreneur. Like, as a entrepreneur, you have the ability to build a platform and generate the resources where you can contract the appropriate work. And like that dude's a joke. Come on, man.
It's a joke. The reason it's a joke is because of their algorithm. You got to listen to me for like 5 seconds.
Let me hear.
Okay, so you can dump $15,000 in the Facebook marketing, and they'll say that you'll reach about 50,000, 100,000, depending on how much you pay. That's fine. That's all on paper. But in actuality, not done talking.
Just so I understand what you're saying. So you can dump how much money? Listen. Let me ask you a question. How much money do you think? Tell me a dollar amount and the audience reach that you think Facebook will give you. What is it? Give me a dollar amount, and then tell me what you think Facebook will allow you to reach.
I think $300 realistically will only reach about 2,000 people, and that's if you're lucky.
Hey, listen. Have you not spent any time in their marketing? Bro, hey, listen,
I have. It's fucking bullshit now at this point.
It's not bullshit, bro. It's not bullshit. I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm trying to be honest with you, right? I have literally spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on their platform, and like, you can.
But have you ever tried to market anything that is political? You will find yourself in a box. And
in a different boat. Listen, in a different boat. And do you? A part of the reason as to why you'll find yourself in a different boat is the way that you go about marketing your content. It's marketing, man. It's all about the way that you market your content. If you go out there, if you go on Facebook's network with your gloves up, like you're ready to just fucking take the world down, they're going to censor you. They're going to fucking censor you. That's what they do. They have to do that now. The federal government here in the States has forced Facebook inside of a position that, like, hey, listen, if you see somebody coming out here trying to make, like, this type of mess, you have to censor them, right? You can't be a bull in a china shop. You can't be a bull in a china shop. You have to be intuitive. You have to think about things. Like, it's not just one campaign, it's multiple campaigns. You're not going to run just one ad. You want to run 20 fucking ads. You want to run 50 fucking ads, right? Even if my first ad only fucking attracts 2 or 3 new people, by the time I get to my 50th ad, now I'm attracting hundreds of people, right? So if
you have multiple accounts, you get marketed for spam. You lose all your fucking accounts. Like I'm telling you, you're talking to people who've been around the block for in doing political stuff or activism for quite a while, and I can tell you half the people on the panel will tell you
I respect that. I respect that. But there is a clear and decisive difference from a political activist and a marketeer. A marketeer understands how to market content. There's a difference. Like if you look at the psychological aspects that differentiate the two, right? A political activist and a marketeer, right? A political activist is driven by an emotional fucking process, right? They have convictions. A marketeer understands the not just the psychological aspects, but especially if you're marketing on something like Facebook, you understand the technological aspect of the technological and the psychological. You have to understand them both in order to market on Facebook appropriately. You have to. You have to. And I didn't just find this in a fucking book, man. You know what I mean?
Well, actually, they do. It's called BAMF. There's actually a book out there, and I'm pretty sure you're familiar with. It's called BAMF. BAMF. Yeah, I've read it, and all that shit doesn't apply. I've seen people try to do it with, selling bags and all sorts of fucking crazy shit, and they're all shut down. So, I mean. If BAMF isn't the gold standard anymore, I don't know what is.
Again, I for years I have heard about people go on and on and on and on and on about how their counts are fucking down. They can't do this, they can't do that, right? But if you have legitimately taken the time to understand the network that you are marketing on, I have been on the same account for well over 15 years. Okay, doing exactly what I'm doing right now, well over fucking 15 years. All right, and I'm nobody fucking special. I'm nobody fucking special. You know, the way you have to understand the network, you have to understand how to market your content on the network, and then you send your message out. It's like that. That's what it is. You have to understand that. You know, and it's I've been in a number of rooms where we continuously market our content to our followers that have already been there. On this call right now, there's at least 4 or 5 people that maybe I know that have been around for at least 10 years, right? So they already like the content, right? So inside the call right now, what are there? 20 people in the call? 15 people in call, right? Our listeners that are listening to it, there's a vast majority of the people that are listening to the call have listened to a whole bunch of other calls just like this. We are attempting to reach out to new people, right? And Thunderbird brings it up a whole bunch of times. You know, we're trying to reach. We need resources to reach new fucking people. We can't build an empire unless we have new people. So we have to it takes resources, and it takes skills, it does.
Blah 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 blah.
Who the hell is making all that noise?
Oh, me.
Okay. Well, Tyler, we're not just giving money to Facebook, we're giving money to YouTube too. What do you think about that?
How about we pick places divided up appropriately among all the nations, and you know what I'm saying, crowdsource to give items that people need, like clean water, food, socks, blankets. I don't know.
So we can listen to me, okay? Listen to me. We cannot baby these people. They have to organize themselves. All these organizations have to crowdfund their own shit. We have to concentrate on our project, and they can concentrate on them. Okay, we can bring them on. That's the whole point. So they can promote their shit, talk about their project, give details, give out links, get out crowdfunding links, and all that kind of stuff. But we're the part that's going to help people get a voice. That's the whole point.
Okay, guys, just real quick, we have Detroit.
You bring up a really good point, sir. Thunderbird brought up a really good point. You know, the idea that, like, hey, listen, like, there's everybody here says that, like, you know, there's a message here that we need to say, right? Our convictions, you know, should be our convictions to that which we want to say, you know, should be demonstrated by our actions, right? So everybody here is like saying, like, yo, let's save the homeless. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do this. Well, let's do that. How do we actually do that? You know, like, it's great that we're investing our time and we're investing our thoughts and our words and stuff like that is a good thing. But what are we actually doing? We have to actually do something, right? And I suffer from this. I don't know exactly what the fuck to do, but I would hope that, like, yo, my frustrations. Listen. I know Thunderbird over there thinks about these things too, right? I sit here and I'm confused. I don't know what the fuck to do, right? I can't figure this out by myself. But can we not figure this out? Can we not figure this out? It's not just me. I don't have to come up with the answer. You don't have to come up with the answer. You're telling me that we are not smart.
Earl, please. You keep cutting people off. If you do that one more time, we're going to have to mute you. So please do not. But you make some good points, and that's kind of why I brought you into this conversation, because I wanted this to, like, focus on real stuff. We've been trying this for years and years and years on end with no real good results. You know, the time I started, like, putting some money into it was the time we got some reach. Let's be honest about this. You know,
we did have huge reach, like 300,000 views, I think, on like one video. The other one even more, I think. So far, at least I have 1 million back then.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, we can combine our efforts. These, you know, these organic things we already do with some money here and there, and I'm sure we will see good results from that.
Hey, I have to give this message because we have Detroit added to, and just added to Milma's March. We have to be at Hart Plaza, and Daniel just posted it. And so if you guys are from Detroit, Hart Plaza on November the 5th, you have to go there. Just real quick.
Nice.
You should repeat also the Assange protest on the 27th. We have the huge list. You should follow Candles for Assange at Twitter. That's Candles, the number 4 Assange. She has all the protests listed. I'm going to, like, drop our own one. We just added Amsterdam to it, right? Dam Square at 1 p.m. But there is a huge list of protests, and you should definitely go to Candles for Assange.
And Tulsa got added to the list too. I think the 3 ones that were added today were Los Angeles, Tulsa, and then Amsterdam. So
Tulsa is at 41st at Peoria.
I have a quick question for you. What are we doing actively to get Assange out?
Yeah, he's got a team of lawyers. They pretty much run everything, right? We are just getting attention to the case, so this judge knows that she's being watched by everyone. So, yeah.
Well, I say we can do a lot more than that.
With our federal senators and giving them handouts with WikiLeaks links on the back and taking pictures. Yeah, I did that. I'll continue to do so too.
Why not deface a government website? Say,
because I'm not a hacker or whatever. But
Tyler, what you just did is actually a violation of the Discord and Facebook TOS, and we might get taken down. Also YouTube, by the way.
We don't give a shit. Make sure you spell it PHUQ so they don't censor you for S words, you know.
Like Mad Mom Anon, you have to stop cutting people off, or we will mute you too. Like, we're going to be treating everybody the same that way. But yeah, I suggest we launch a more focused campaign on trying to actually, petition certain specific people, like human rights stuff, like United Nations panel of the human rights, and get this on the agenda. Other than that, of course, it looks pretty hopeless when all we can do is like beg to these people. But I would suggest we do some public thing, public obedience type thing, where we actually just flood the whole area with people and, just demand his release.
Well, they're not going to let us all go to Belmarsh. I mean, seriously? Let's finish shutting down the airline industries with the truckers and the factories, and we're almost there, maybe.
Well, I do know the protests in the UK are going to be huge, like at Belmarsh, but it would make sense if everyone also goes to like the local embassies, the UK embassies. And
yeah. That's a start.
Well, I say we shut them down until they comply with our orders.
We can make Congress vote on it. I'm just saying. We can't get any oversight in these courts. I mean, and they even said it themselves publicly on television, so.
Oh yeah, and also JC says, "Hi guys and happy Mother's Day."
Oh, it's Mother's Day?
It's Myers Day. Happy Myers Day.
Oh.
I was like, oh fuck. I was like, I missed it again. What the fuck?
Why isn't JC here and on the show?
Oh, and
He's watching and he says, "Happy Halloween, motherfuckers."
I haven't heard from Jay in fucking years.
Hello, Jay, and it's not Halloween yet, but it will be soon.
It seems that he's banned from the server because he can't use the invite link I gave him.
Dude, that guy has like 10 million accounts. Like, it's hard to keep track of any of them.
Yeah, definitely, for sure, and like
One week they're alive, and the next week they're deleted. So
He's not banned though.
oh, and Muzzle Ray says for another Assange protest, Brisbane on the 23rd, 3 p.m. Saturday, October 23rd, in Boonyampa Park, Vulture Street, the west end of Brisbane. That's in Australia. Yeah.
Yeah, Brisbane March was added today, I think. Millimass March too, by the way, in Adelaide was also added today. Like, there's like always like the last few weeks, all these marches keep popping up. I was talking with Your Non-News about it too, and they asked me to like change like the list to like add the latest ones on top to make it more clear. But it keeps going.
or at least get them in an Excel spreadsheet or something.
Well, we had that map, that was like interactive or whatever back when we had the grid, but we don't have the grid anymore in there. Yeah.
Oh, that was what's her name? That was fucking crazy. The
grid, I think, was wasn't the grid Commander X?
No. It was the crazy lady. What's her name?
Christine.
Christine, the crazy one. Yeah.
Yeah, she had that interactive map or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like honestly, someone should just take that set from her. Yeah, because she's fucking destroying it.
The bus is hilarious. I don't know how we got there, but
she's always hating everyone. It sucks. She keeps attacking us all the time.
Greg Murray's birthday, Saturday. Mark, what was that? Can you get that out there one more time again? And
Yeah, there's the 17th, and we're streaming it this weekend. Craig Murray's birthday. He's in prison, so but we're still celebrating his birthday. There will be all kinds of speakers on, journalists and whatever, and it's definitely worth to listen to. But we will be streaming it during the weekend, and then we have the 26th, which is the day before the Assange trial. There is a big event by DEA, Don't Extradite Assange campaign, and they asked us to stream that one too. So we'll do that too. And I don't know, but the week after that that will be like super busy, because I don't think it will be over in 2 days. Like the judge is going to make us wait a few days again, and like maybe give like some kind of like temporary outcome on Monday or something. So it will be like a week, and the whole week will be like filled with events again. So that is just how it goes. I will try to stream everything, I guess. I mean,
I think Action for Assange is having a Rose.
Do you remember that 1 year? Do you remember that 1 year?
oh yeah, I do have to mention that also. Yeah, we have to. What just real quick, what Mad Mom says is true.
I think Action for Assange, Saturday's regular time stream. I think it's
Action for Assange has Rose McGowan on.
Saturday, I think too. I think that's also
No,
on
Friday. Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. That's when they're having Rose on.
Yeah,
but it's
so it's
also a bunch of other people. Like they're having, I know Alex is going to come on to talk about all the events happening. And then I'm going to come on for a bit with Alex to talk about the LA event. And then Paula Jean is coming on. And I'm going to ask her to unfucking block me.
You have Billy Winner Davis coming on, Reality's mom. You have her coming on, Billy Winner Davis, and also Nico House and stuff. They're also going to appear there. But I think it's going to be like a huge Action for Assange show on Friday.
Yeah, it's a bunch of people.
Yeah, I mean,
the fam. Yeah. Cult of the Vault 7 gang.
yeah, that's really a gang. These people.
I mean, our domestic terrorists. Yeah. That's us. Hey.
Yeah, but we have to give a shout out to Action for Assange, right? They've been crucial in the defense for Assange. Pretty much like running the whole like American side of things, right? Building everything up in America, and that's been really important for the Assange case, because you guys gained so much attention for the Assange case, so that's pretty much it.
Big ups.
People out. What else is it?
Shout out to Andrew, by the way, who's still doing a lot of work for that. Should just jump on.
Shout out. Oh, shout out to Steve too. Steve, because he might come down to LA. So y'all keep a lookout for Scoop Gang on site in Los Angeles.
Awkward silence.
He's in the background like dead air.
Well, that either everybody talks on top of each other or like silence.
I don't know
It's
why
kind of
that is
ironic.
either. I don't know why that is, because we always have plenty of time. We do like 4-hour shows and stuff. It's like
People get so excited. They get so like they want to say something on top of the other person, but that doesn't really make for good conversation or show. So I suggest you stop doing it. Yeah, like everybody's high strung. What can I say? It's in the air.
it's kind of it's really bad today, by the way. It happened on your show before too. We were like talking over each other all the time. And like
I don't know.
it seems like a
Something
special
I
day.
bring. Well,
Yeah,
you know,
wait.
we'll
Or is the
something.
lag, or is a lag going on, or something, Thor? I don't know. It's also possible.
Well, if it's a lag, it should be an equal lag in both directions. So that doesn't really make any sense either.
I haven't
I
heard
don't
any
know.
lag.
I could
Hey,
understand.
Tor, I didn't hear any lag. I think everybody just went silent because Tor came out here with his fucking hammer and he said, "Stop talking." So everybody just like stopped talking. So like, Tor, take some responsibility over here, man. Help me out.
Well, I'm like I just don't want people to cut each other off, and yeah, you get it.
I feel, listen, in all reality, I was busting balls right over there.
On the note of protest, though, if you're anywhere near Los Angeles, keep an eye out this weekend and the beginning of next week, because the Milken Institute, which is like another pretentious think tank, they're supposed to be doing like this conference thingy that's got a bunch of like the quote-unquote globalists showing up. So word on the streets is that one certain Anthony I Am Science Fauci might be there among some other little fucks. So just keep an eye out.
Crazy,
We
right?
might see another Event 201 or
Crazy.
Dark Winter simulation going on there. So that'll be interesting.
Crazy. It's crazy. All right, listen. Everybody here, thank you for having me with you, and I hope all have a good night. All right.
You have a good one.
Peace.
Yo,
Peace
thank you
out.
for the.
Nice to
I'll
meet
see you
you.
guys in
Come
the-
back again.
Y'all have a good night.
Please.
I probably won't stay up too much later either. I got to get up again early. I got crazy schedules, so make sure you supporting each other, standing up for what you got to do, hit your streets, do what you can do for each other. Assange, love.
Only
We
hit
are
Assange,
all
but you cut off.
Assange.
You cut off, man. But we said like only Assange. Probably meant free
See,
Assange.
that's all you guys got? Really? It's that bad tonight? Like,
I heard Assange and then love. Did I get that part?
wow, that's fabulous.
Yeah. We are all Assange. Woo! Fuck censorship.
It's
There's
probably
only one decision.
extradition.
Thank you.
Well, didn't you actually hear her say that it was getting late and she had a busy schedule and so on and so forth? I heard everything she said.
Oh, thank goodness. So it's not just everybody. Well, that's good to know. I don't have my thumb drives on or, VPN running or anything because I live in the woods and it really makes connection worse than it is. So, it could be anything, literally, if it's my audio that's all jank. And if that's the case, apologies. It's been my pleasure as always.
That's a strange bug if I hear you and they don't. That is like...
Yeah, well, pen test it out, you guys. Figure it out. You know what I mean? Yeah.
People talk about like going to bed and stuff. I'm like, I just instantly start to yawn when people start leaving.
But
I keep getting in trouble every time I try to talk, so it's fine.
Because when
I
think about
kinda wanna
sleep, it makes
talk-
you want to go to sleep.
I kind of want to talk about, what we talked about, the whole, crowdfunding thing.
What are we crowdfunding for, though? Like,
Say what?
I need more info, Thor. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's your event or your like?
We are crowdfunding this or a version of this. We can do this one. We can do PAA. We can do. Well, I'm thinking both. So like we do a crowdfunder for ABB, and then we start paying for it. We don't have to use the same page. We can use another page, and then promote that with the show. If it gets taken down, it doesn't really affect, the show as such, or the page, I mean. But anyway, we don't have any reach. We might as well just make a new page every time and just promote that. We will reach a lot more people that way.
Yeah, there's something up with it.
The
Didn't I show you that YouTube channel, Thor? Like, had like a new YouTube channel empty. We had like 2 or 3 videos on it, and it got like 10,000 views and stuff. It's like
yeah, exactly.
Do what? When? About recently, right?
Yeah, recently, like 2 weeks ago.
Seriously? Oh shit! Don't say stuff like that to me. We can't talk about this kind of stuff on air. You guys are getting me souped up and have everybody under investigation for real, and we don't need that. We're too busy investigating them.
Yeah, but these were real views. It was like just a random protest videos. We were just uploading them to the channel, but because it was a new channel, it wasn't like censored or anything. And it was like a video with it was about a truckers protest, and it got 11,000 views in like 3 hours. And it was just a random.
Yeah, well,
protest.
it's truckers protest though. You know, that's what we need to be doing. Shut the big industries down, like striking. You know, like yeah, this is.
What is it still paying off like that?
Yeah.
Do you still get views?
Let me see.
Yeah, so let's put everything on that one. Then like, but then you'll get censored again, and we're back to square one. Or what do you think?
Yeah. Like,
Try uploading an episode.
Well, you know that Facebook is automatic, right, with the whole algorithm stuff, but maybe with YouTube, like some guy like manually tags it or something, and then it gets censored. I don't know how it works. Maybe like
I have no idea.
You know, some pro COVID guy or something. Oh, it's a pro vaccine guy or something like tags it, and then it gets like processed or something. This one week ago had like 1,500 views. An anti-COVID passport protest in Bucharest, Romania. Yeah, I guess it's still working.
Well, try uploading an episode of ABB and see what happens.
Right, but I'm glad that they got that out. You know what I mean? Because that's weird, but.
Yeah, do an important one with lots of good info. Not lots of dead air and people screaming over each other.
I got some good footage on my YouTube channels. We was at Smith's office giving signatures to let these innocent people that they've already executed one of, you understand, the Missouri Prison Department, at their office just like a month ago. But
Shout out Southwest workers and Kyrie Irving and Jacksonville, Florida air traffickers.
Good.
Shout
Thank
out
you,
you guys.
Yeah, there's John Deere was also on strike. There's a bunch of people going on, like today it starts too.
Yeah,
the nurses
all the
got some
pilots
keep holding
are-
out, y'all. Keep holding out.
Yeah, keep fighting. You know what I mean? Like,
Especially
pilots
because like
went
this
on
works
strike.
out for me because I fucking hate the Nets too. So like if Kyrie don't want to play for them, then that's perfectly fucking fine with me. Hell yeah.
So yeah, all the pilots went on strike, and then the flights got grounded. And you know they have leverage more than a lot of people, so I'm hoping that's going to turn into something.
for sure.
Yeah, well, if we can get the airlines and the truckers, that'll be big.
Right, especially since there's already like some truckers, you know, like overseas, and you know, some shipping problems too. Like,
Yeah, sorry.
like
And
I
then
said earlier,
here,
though, like I am concerned, you know, in the long run, though, still for some of our people that you know are not on a higher, you know, socio class, perhaps that are struggling to survive a little bit more. Some still too.
yeah, that's why you need to establish like mutual aid networks for that kind of stuff. But I mean,
Yeah.
and also here in LA, or at least in Beverly Hills, we got the firefighters too. That's always cool. And then, you know,
Absolutely.
maybe, listen, you know, fuck 12, but I mean, like, listen, if cops want to quit their job and come through, like, I'm willing to compromise, like, come on.
I'll definitely feed you if you need to eat. You know what I mean? Shit, for sure.
You guys, did we cover everything?
Never,
so.
but
I mean, we mainly wanted to
Sort
talk
of.
about Assange, so yeah.
Assange
Did
special.
that.
Just remember, 27th is the Assange case. It might be the most important case for press freedom in like recent history. It's like at least for the last few decades.
So it is the most important ever.
Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah.
In my lifetime, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I mean, definitely. There's not. They don't even have any standing in the case, so it's
so search for words
says
like
something of the legal system.
Assange or Free Assange on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you are. Assange, Free Assange, We Are All Assange. Assange case is one now. Just find information about this and please just try to help as much as you can and spread the truth and please defend this innocent journalist because he defended all of you when he was free and he defended freedom of democracy, freedom of speech. The actual things like Catalonia, when they voted for independence, over 90% voted for independence, was ignored by the Spanish. No media covered it, only WikiLeaks covered it, right? The corruption in the voting processes, the murders in Afghanistan and Iraq, the surveillance and the CIA Vault 7 and the tools they use against you. So no one covered that, only the WikiLeaks covered that, and we need journalists like that, and we need a free press again. We need it back. So the 27th is the Assange case, and you can do a lot to help.
Yeah.
Organize, spread the truth. That's the best.
Should I give the PSA or?
Give the PSA, I think.
Yep. Anonymous. And and also November 9th is Commander X's next court date. So November 9th at 9 a.m. outside the San Jose District Courthouse. Be there if you can. And you can follow @FreeCommanderX_ on Twitter for updates. And then again, remember October 27th.
I just have to say one thing.
Oh boy.
Before we end, everybody, we are doing open mic shows every day at 6 p.m. EST on Public Access Anonymous. So come there and join.
Tell them how they can find it.
Well, they can find it on Discord, and they can find it on Facebook. But I will give you a link that you can post in the comment section.
So we're gonna stop letting you come on the show if you don't stop promoting Facebook.
But I know another way
Yes,
to promote the PAA thing. I mean, you have a Twitter account, Anon Live, right?
Yeah.
That also works. If people just follow that, they can find the show too, I think, or a link to it.
Yeah, you can find us anywhere. We are the Free Media Coalition. We are Public Access Anonymous. We are the Press Freedom Collective. We are Anonymous Live, of course, and numerous other platforms and openings. And yeah, you'll see us soon.
Yeah, I hope it'll be everywhere, right? I mean, that's what we need. We need more shows, free speech activists. So can only embrace that, right?
As long as we can cooperate and communicate properly, Mark, we will be able to do this for real.
Yeah, I know.
He's not being pushy at all.
Not at all.
No, it just shows he takes it seriously. It's fine with me. He knows I'm always busy with the random stuff, so yeah, can't really help it.
Yeah, he seems to forget that you're always busy with other stuff as well. And
yeah, but that's kind of the thing, Lobby. Do not spread yourself too thin. You'll have to put some weight on certain places, and you will see the things start to move.
Okay, well, I think that's a good advice for me and for everyone.
I think there's something in that for all of us.
Yeah. Okay, well, I gave the PSA.
Okay, anonymous PSA, make sure to spam neuter all your politicians and lobbyists and bankers and military contractors and royal